And we're live! Hi, my name is Sophia Botha. Welcome to Botha Rants, the latest edition of Botha Rants, the show where we go through all the latest LGBTQ and political news of interest, or at least interest to myself. And once again, at very short notice, I only knew she was coming on the show less than an hour ago. Ozma joins me.
Hi. D&D was canceled today, so that is legit part because normally I'm playing D&D with friends at this time, so I'm unabashed about my D&D playing. So
Right. Well, sorry. Yeah, she does actually have a 12-sided die. She does.
I have
I, I,
several. I don't have them.
I've actually
No,
seen
wait.
it. Yeah, as well as access to
I do have them
as well as
easily on hand on my desk too.
yeah, as well as access to a space laser. She has a 12-sided dice. Yeah. Um. Yeah. No,
I know the audience can't see it, but I am weirdly wanting to prove it to you to remind you that it is here.
By the way, do you know that Vin Diesel, the actor, he's really big into D&D.
Yeah, I can't remember his character off the top of my head. He he was on the famous D&D stream. Wow, I can't think of names of TV shows or people. But
And
yeah.
and also, if you watch the first of the Riddick films, Pitch Black, there's actually a trans character in it. People forget that.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a trans character
that's
in Pitch Black.
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I need to watch that movie now.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry we're a few minutes late. I had a bit of a technical hiccup just before we began, but it's all resolved. And we've got a packed show for you tonight, as always. And thank you, Ozma, for joining me at short notice. It's always wonderful when you join us.
Yeah, it was sometimes it's just out there and there's a chance that I might show up.
Yeah. All right. Shall
Well,
we?
except for Mondays. Mondays I always show up.
Sorry, I know some people go, what the fuck is going on the screen? The thing is, I thought she was going to carry on going on a bit, but anyways, yeah, I have an Aria update. For those who don't know who Aria is, she's a trans friend of mine. Lives in Keene, New Hampshire, originally from Mississippi. And well, she got arrested last week. Well, actually, she had SWAT raid her fucking house, and the FBI arrest her for basically, what they consider an illegal money transferring business. I should pull up the. She actually wanted me to say the actual indictments. I have actually spoken to Aria. Funny enough, a few days ago, she did sound exhausted, because as well as all this crap going on, she also has a full-time job.
Yeah.
So I'm just searching out where she did tell me on Facebook the actual charges. She wanted me specific because before I've said money laundering and wire fraud, but actually,
yeah,
it's not
no,
actually.
I know that's wrong.
It's not actual. It's not actual wire fraud. Hold on, I'm just.
Oh, it's that. Okay.
Yeah, here we are. According to the indictments, it is
Unlicensed
yeah,
money transmitter business and conspiracy to operate a money transmitter business.
yeah. That's the actual specific charges. So we need to get that correct.
Yeah.
So as I said, she sounded well. She said she was okay, and she is a tough cookie, but she sounded. And usually she's pretty up for stuff, and I've never heard her sound so low. Obviously, this all does take its toll on people. Now, there is a legal fund which you can now donate to, which has been set up. It's this site, thecrypto6.com. However, I do have a criticism about this site, and I have mentioned this not to Aria, because the thing is, Aria's restricted to what she can tell me. Okay, I just wanted to know that personally she was okay. All right. My concern was for her well-being. Shall I say? That's my primary concern. I mean, she could tell me that when she was arrested, they basically they I don't want to get this wrong, but essentially it sounded to me like a male officer expected her to undress in front of them or put clothes on in front of them. And she said, no, I'm a woman. And they finally got a female officer, but then when she was detained before she got bail, they took her to not a male prison, thankfully, but not a female prison. They took her to a some sort of medical facility. And well, I mean, we should. Some people say, "Well, be thankful that she didn't get sent to a male jail." Well, yeah, but she's female. She's a woman. She should be sent to a woman's, jail. So now, as I said, there is a legal fund for her. And all the other people who were arrested in conjunction with this FBI investigation. But I've got criticism of this in that it doesn't give much information. Right? It's got a video. It's got a video. It's got a video of a local news report on the incident. And it sort of expects people to know what's going on. In other words, this is just appealing to other libertarians, right? Not a broader audience, right?
Yeah.
And this is part of the problem. Libertarians don't know how to market themselves. And I mean, I've said that, even if some trans people might think that Aria is guilty and should serve time, they will definitely not want her to serve time in a male prison.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. I was speaking to a very left sort of, well, not someone who's very very much liberal last week, who lives in the States, and they said to me, that they think Bitcoin and whatever else is really dodgy. I don't agree with that personally, but and they sort of said she probably is guilty, but the last thing they would want for her is to be sent to a male prison.
Yeah.
Now, it might not happen. Aria could be offered a plea deal, which would be, acceptable. You never know.
Well,
but however,
she has the least charges.
Yeah, she does, and also. The other thing is the feeling I'm getting is that they're after Ian Freeman, who's sort of considered the leader of the sort of of this thing, of this Bitcoin thing going on. I mean, he's often been considered the figurehead of Free King, which is the libertarian group, which is in that part of New Hampshire, and that's the feeling I get, that they're after Ian more than anyone. What I hope, but you see, the thing is, what I fear is, as I said, you never know. She could be offered a plea deal, which is amenable to her, but the likelihood is the FBI are probably going to try and strong arm her to turn against Ian. Now, she would not do that. I know she wouldn't. Okay, which could result in her, having to serve time. It's the really bad thing about this is that over 90% of FBI prosecutions are successful. Sorry, federal prosecutions, not FBI.
Yeah, but I'm honestly not sure how that's broken down, because a lot of this might be a lot of charges to try to hammer home um, the Ian thing. So even if even if only one person gets arrested, that might still count as a win when it comes to federal prosecution.
Well, yeah, I mean,
If we're talking about statistics, so it is possible with a good lawyer that Aria, at the very least, might have a decent chance of not going to jail if they get enough funding to get a decent lawyer.
well, I mean,
If the group does.
5 years ago, I mean, this is not the first time Ian's had his house raided by the FBI. 5 years ago, his house was raided because supposedly someone had downloaded child porn from, on to the IP address, and basically the FBI confiscated a whole load of computers. I mean, Ian was never charged and never got all those fucking computers and other technical equipment back. And the reason why Aria has explained, as I played on Monday, that essentially what happened was that Ian's radio show Free Talk Live had broken the story that basically the FBI were the biggest distributor of child porn in America. Obviously, the FBI would defend this by saying, "Oh, we're trying to entrap people." Yeah, well, you're trying to you're perpetuating the fucking situation, right? That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So, yeah, I mean, basically, it just seems to me that the FBI have, that they've wanted to get Ian for a while, shall we say? And so, yeah. Maybe I'm not communicating this the best, but let me just tell you this. Aria's a very sweet individual. And she doesn't deserve this, all right? She really doesn't. And as far as I'm concerned, look, they were selling Bitcoin. Whoopie fucking do. Where's the crime in that? I mean, where's the crime in it when the US government doesn't consider Bitcoin to be legal fucking tender?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's not a strong legal case. The only case that they have that has any sort of potential relevance is the stronger of the arguments, which involves an FBI scheme regarding money laundering when it comes to Ian or whatever.
And can I just say that to Pink News and LGBTQ Nation, I have to call you out that I and other people have been fucking trying to get you interested in this fucking story, because there's the potential that Aria could be sent to a male federal penitentiary, you've not and she's been in the news before. In fact, she's had international headlines written about her. I actually remember when her run for sheriff, when the story blew up about the vote for the Republicans in that corner of New Hampshire had basically voted for a trans anarchist Satanist to run for sheriff. Obviously, they didn't. I don't think most of the Republicans who voted for her realised this, because they just vote for someone with an R after their name. When she ran for sheriff, I remember the first headline I saw was actually in the Daily Mail, or the Mail Online, actually, to be specific, which is a British publication. So she's well known, and I just don't get it why they wouldn't be interested in this story, So I'm trying my best here,
Well, they're busy being liberals, and
Well,
I mean that I
well,
mean that in the lefty sort of way, calling them liberals, not in the right conservative sort of way, calling them liberals.
well, like, I actually remember, right, that AP ran a story, and that's the Associated Press for everybody, uh, about Aria, right, before fucking Pink News did.
Yeah,
And all Pink News did was basically use the AP story for their own story. And it was like, for fuck's sake, because the AP actually bothered to send a fucking journalist up to New Hampshire to interview her and photograph her. Yeah?
yeah,
Like, what the fuck? The LGBTQ. I mean, I realise the LGBTQ press doesn't have the resources, but, at least they could fucking, I don't know, email her? Fucking, well, not me, sorry. She can't give interviews at the moment. Sorry, I should
Yeah.
say that. Sorry. She can't legally give interviews, but there are other people around her, They could approach me, I do know something about the case. They could approach Mark Edge, who, of course, is the co-host and co-owner of Free Talk Live, and is a really nice guy. Mark actually said to me yesterday, he said, I'm not actually the most empathetic of people. I said, Mark, when I had a heart attack, fuck me, you were falling over yourself with concern about whether I was going to live. And then I remember when I busted my knee at a anti-Trump protest, he was really, really concerned about me. Mark, you are an empathetic dude, and you are a really nice guy. Don't do yourself down.
yeah.
So, anyways, look, I know we spent quite a lot of time talking about Aria, but obviously she's a friend, and I'm concerned. And I would point out, look, I'm not a libertarian. I'm a socialist.
Yeah, same.
But sometimes the thing is, right, you stand by your friends, okay, and that's what I'm doing here. I am standing by my friend Aria, okay, and I will keep on doing so.
Well, and I think there are elements of what she does that's genuinely good and helpful and inspiring, and that's important too. I don't have to agree with
No,
her runs for sheriff are.
All right.
Yeah.
Before I go, I'm just checking the chat. I realised yesterday I forgot to say Stuart Kenny turned up, and I forgot to say thank you for turning up, Stuart. Sorry for that, Stuart. I didn't acknowledge you. But Freya says banned due to the Fifth Amendment on all grounds of self-incrimination. No, it's part of her bail restrictions. She can't. I don't think it has anything to do with.
No. Freya's talking about entrapment.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, right, in America, let's just say that the FBI and various other, shall we say, law enforcement agencies don't seem to give a shit about entrapment these days. But
Yeah, that's also true.
yeah, as I said, they've been, the FBI have been basically pumping out fucking child porn as a means of trying to entrap paedophiles. But the point I'm trying to make is that that's actually perpetuating the situation, right? Because they're helping to spread fucking child porn. It just seems ludicrous to me. Anyways, on to the other news. Hey, so Milo, right? Yes, Milo, who's gone straight. Yeah, he's free from sodomy. Yeah, we really believe that, right? Well, anyways, folk on Gab haven't reacted well to Milo, going straight and finding God. I mean, Milo is fucking as gay as they come. There's nothing wrong with being gay, all right? We are. Can I just say we are?
This isn't I would say it's less to do with the personality and more to the fact that uh, he is still, you know, with his husband, living in the same house,
Yeah, but
and I
no.
don't
It's
believe.
not his husband anymore. It's his housemate. Remember?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's his housemate
It's his
in
house.
quotations
Yeah, it's his housemate
and
who's very
slash
handy.
fuck buddy slash lover.
Who's very handy at making hand shandy. Anyways,
Yes.
so Focal Gab, which is Twitter for Nazis, haven't reacted too well to all this. Here's one. My activist Milo, I can never pronounce his surname. You know who he is. Says he is now ex-gay and sodomy free. Says salvation can only be achieved through devotion to Christ. Yeah. Sorry. What's wrong with it? Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So, this is the response to that. Right?
Oh God.
Yeah. What happened to... I'm not going to say that word.
No, nobody should say that word.
No one should. Yeah. Yeah, well, his husband is now his housemate.
Yeah.
Right. Is no longer.
Oh wow.
Oh fucking hell! I mean, this is
Holy fucking
as I
shit.
said, as I said, this is Gab. Gab is Twitter for Nazis. So what the fuck do you should have?
Yeah, I mean,
I should have posted a trigger warning here because fucking hell, this is.
Wow.
Yes. Right.
And
I couldn't give a. Oh, jeez.
yeah.
The only true thing about that is that he's a grifter. Yeah. Milo is. And you know that he's pretending to be straight as a grift to the far right. You know, the Christian fundamentalists. The Lauren Witzkis of the world. Yeah, still. That's going to be Lauren Witzki's name is going to be branded on my mind for the rest of this year. And possibly
I'm sorry.
further. Well, yeah.
Just wait till we just need a worse apocalypse going on. That way you can get that off of your mind.
Talking about Sydney Powell. Sydney the Kraken Powell, shall I say, who basically, if you remember the press conference with Rudy Giuliani melting, she was bollocking on about how Dominion in league with Hugo Chavez, despite the fact Hugo Chavez died in 2012 or 2013, can't quite remember, rigged the US elections, which they didn't. Can I just say that to YouTube? We'll get on to that.
I will say Hugo Chavez did not rig the US elections.
Well, neither did fucking Dominion. Okay, they just didn't. All right, you know. So basically, now she is saying because Dominion have lodged a $1.3 billion lawsuit against her. Right.
Yeah.
She is now saying, how can anyone take me seriously?
Well, so
that's not a defense in a slander case. That's not that is not a defense you can fucking use. Damage done. Because there's plenty of people who did take you seriously, Sydney. All those fucking times you were on the fucking stage, bollocking on about this bullshit.
So, I just watched Legal Eagle last night talking about this and breaking down the legal facts of this. So, that defense has been used before with a genuine satire in that no reasonable person would conclude these statements were truly whatever fact.
Oh, well,
The problem,
Sidney Powell is not a fucking satirist. She's not the fucking Onion.
Yeah, I know, but also the fact that she went into legal cases making some of these same claims makes it even harder to defend in that sense, because she's either going to get into a bunch of other legal trouble. She's either making it bad for this or making it bad for her in a different way. Either way, it's not good.
Well, I want to sue Sidney Powell for not releasing the Kraken. I was so looking forward to her releasing the Kraken. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fucking disappointed. I didn't get the Kraken for Christmas because Sidney Powell didn't release it. Yeah? Yeah? I'm emotionally damaged because she did not release the Kraken. My Christmas was fucked up.
Yeah, I think the argument that she's trying to make is that all her statements that were blatantly false were hyperbole or something to that effect. Unfortunately, she also did legal related stuff, and due to how laws work, it's like no reasonable person. She couldn't possibly have lied about it, so she has to agree that she believes in it, but also no reasonable person would believe that. But she's saying that she believed that, which means that she's saying that she is not a reasonable person. It's just like a whole mess, but honestly, it might actually be the best defense she has.
I don't think she has a fucking... I mean, look, we heard what she said. Yeah?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Anyways, the only thing I will say for Sidney Powell is she has a really good, lovely, husky Southern accent. It's the best Southern accent I've heard since Sue Ellen Ewing in Dallas. The best Southern husky accent. Of course, there was always rumours that Linda Gray was trans. No, she's not. Okay, but one thing I do know about Linda Gray, she is a supporter of LGBTQ rights, equality.
I will say. Yeah, the transvestigators are a weird bunch.
Well, you know, the other one that they keep citing is Brianna Wu. They keep trying to say that Brianna Wu, the game developer, is trans. I kind of think, considering she's run for Congress on a couple of occasions, it would have come out by now that she is trans. If she was, she's not. I don't think she is. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just a very tall lady. Okay.
Wait, are you suggesting that women can be tall? Are you saying that there are WNBA players who are like, 6'11"?
Well, you can get tall women, yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of women who are taller than me, believe it or not. In fact, actually, not many trans women are actually taller than me. I'm trying to think.
Wait, how tall are you?
5'11".
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm shorter than you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, my fiance...
Just by a tiny bit.
Paris Lee, she's taller than me.
Christie's also, shorter than you.
Jane Faye's taller than me. But most trans women I know are actually shorter than me. So, yeah.
Yeah, and if I'm sure there... Well, no, I know there's a cis woman that I knew as a kid who was taller than I will ever be. She's got to be 6'5" or something.
Anyways, enough of that.
Yeah.
So, yet again, the MAGA crowd have basically turned on one of their, supposed, figureheads. They're not too happy with Sidney Powell.
What?
Yeah, this is you can't prove any of these. Said Sidney, I fold. Yeah, basically that she's not standing up to them. Okay, as you can see.
Yeah, because she doesn't want to be. Because she knows she can't win a case.
Yeah.
They're upset because they feel betrayed.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
she is a grifter, and her crazy claims, together with Linwood, lost us the Senate. I hope she has to pay a lot for her lies. She should have to return the money she raised for fraudulent purposes. Yeah, well, so at least there are some QAnon wankers who realise that they're getting grifted, but it's like, well, we'll get onto the whole QAnon thing in a minute, but yeah, hey, they're all fucking grifters. I mean, funny enough, these are screenshots from Parlor. Linwood is actually banned from Parlor.
Yeah.
I thought Parlor
Milo.
was the bastion of free speech.
Yeah, Linwood, Milo, Yiannopoulos, several left-wing people, if I recall correctly, are banned from Parlor as well. Yeah, it's not about free speech; it's about conservative
in the case
speech.
in the case of Linwood, right? I can see why Parlor would have banned him, because he wouldn't shut up about Dominion, rigging the fucking election, which they didn't do. Okay.
Because I rigged the election all by myself.
No, don't fucking say that. Don't.
I'm kidding. Sorry.
Seriously, don't say that. Okay, I will tell you why in a minute. All right.
Okay.
Just don't fucking do it. All right. She's quickly turning into a nut job. She already is a fucking nut job.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. We also had for that press conference, with Rudy fucking melting, going on about the fucking Kraken. And Hugo Chavez and what the fuck else, She's quickly turning into a nut job, who you see standing at the corner. It's the end of the world. Armageddon is coming. I used to have so much respect for this person. Hold on. What,
why?
You've only just twigged that she's a nutcase.
Look, no reasonable person would believe what she said. Also, I used to believe what she said.
Okay, so when she admits she's been bullshitting, right? You now think she's crazy. The fact that she's admitted that she was bullshitting is probably the sanest thing she's done.
Yeah.
And it's still not going to get her off the hook, though.
There's a really fine line. Yeah, where's the Kraken?
Yeah, well, that's my response. Where is it? Yeah.
It's stuck in Pirates of the Caribbean 3.
No, wrong film franchise. It's Clash of the Titans. Don't you get Pirates of the Caribbean wrong? Even though I can't stand Pirates of the Caribbean.
But the third Pirates of the Caribbean was the one with the end of the second one and the third one, that was the one with the Kraken.
No, that wasn't a Kraken.
Oh, that wasn't?
No.
What was that?
It was a giant octopus squid thing, wasn't it? He ended up.
I thought that was the Kraken.
He ended up in David Jones's locker, didn't he, or something or other? I mean, look. I mean, I'm not exactly a big fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, but I remember, Clash of the Titans and Laurence Olivier going, "Release the Kraken."
Yeah,
actually,
no,
he did actually say it that way. There's always these things that people seem to think. For instance, you get Brian Blessed, always, the one line everyone knows Brian Blessed is from Flash Gordon. Gordon's alive! Yeah, that one, right? But he didn't actually say it that way. He actually just said, Gordon's alive. And it's the same with Laurence Olivier, you know. Everyone seems to think he said, release the Kraken! He didn't. He just said, release the Kraken. Yeah. But anyway, I mean, you know, sure. Yeah. I actually remember seeing. I mean, obviously, you've had you had the the remake of Clash of the Titans more recently, but I remember the Harryhausen one from the early 80s.
I've only seen
I remember
the remake,
and I remember it well because when I was a kid, the Medusa really scared me. Anyways. So, yeah, they're all basically now turning on each other. Right. Dominion is now...
Also, it is the Kraken.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. So Davy Jones gets control of it or something. I forget.
Not gonna give a shit. I don't like Pirates of the Caribbean. I think it's...
Yeah, I know.
You know, just
I have a soft spot for the second one because I like the 3-person fencing scene.
I don't mind. I mean, the first one I didn't mind, right? But after that, I just you know, they don't.
It's fine. It's fine. Everyone's got their own taste in movies, and
yeah. Sorry. I actually went to see the second one at the cinema, and I actually fell asleep.
Oh,
literally, I did. I fell asleep. It was give me some to give the film some due. It was a very hot day, and even with the air conditioning on in the cinema. But anyways, look, that's not. We're getting off the.
That's not the point.
No, we're getting off the fucking subject. Anyways, yeah. Dominion voting sues Fox News for 1.6 billion over the 2020 election claims. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
Fox News as well as Newsmax, and what's the other one? There's another one.
InfoWars?
No, America Online or something. American News Online. I can't remember. They've all been pushing the fucking these asinine fucking conspiracy theories about the election was rigged. Look. Do you know how hard it would be to fucking rig the US elections?
Incredibly hard, actually.
Right? I know some people say, well, what about, what happened in Florida with Al Gore? That was a different time, and that was one state, okay?
Well, also that involved racism and also the various federal agencies cracked down to try to prevent voting fraud in the most recent election.
Yeah, you're talking about, well, I mean, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, those were the sort of 3 states where they were trying, they were saying that there was voter fraud. Those are 3 different states with 3 different, sets of laws when it comes to...
Freya brings it up, by the way, One America News Network. OANN.
Oh, right. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Well, they've all been pushing this. I just think and the fact that Joe Biden won by more than, what was it, about 8 million, 10 million votes, right?
Yeah, that's kind of hard to fake.
Yeah, right. Sorry, no, it's all this electoral fraud stuff is absolute bullshit. So there's been a documentary being broadcast it's being produced and now broadcast by HBO. It's called Into the Storm, which is about the QAnon conspiracy theory, right? And I've watched a couple of episodes, and you want the truth about the people who buy into the QAnon conspiracy theory? They're very sad people who live in mum's basement and need something to fill up their time. Sorry, they are. They all basically, there's been complaints that, obviously you get from people who buy into the fucking QAnon conspiracy, that this is biased against them. No, in fact, I would say it's the other way round. This fucking documentary seems to take them fucking seriously. I mean, for fuck's sake, let me tell you what the fucking QAnon conspiracy is. It's a fucking troll, okay?
Yeah.
Some wanker first of all posted on 4chan and then posted on 8chan. Basically spouting.
Fuck the chans.
Yeah, basically, and this person, right? When they're not wanking off to internet porn, is probably laughing their arse off about how many people have actually taken it seriously with all the shit they've been spewing. Yeah? And as I said, basically, those who have sort of who have attached themselves to this fucking conspiracy theory all seem to be, sad gits who have nothing better to do with their fucking lives. I'm just going to say it. That's what needs to be fucking said. That is it. Now, I realise that people have to take the whole QAnon thing seriously because it, I mean...
It causes real-life effects.
Well, yeah, the documentary actually does start with scenes from the Capitol riot. So, yeah, all right.
Yeah, all lives matter, quote-unquote protesters seriously injuring and killing cops. Because they care about police lives.
Yeah, this is a new level of craziness, okay? But maybe we should have seen it coming, okay? One thing that this documentary does detail is, it goes back to the Pizzagate bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yet again, right? I mean, Alex Jones obviously was the one who was pushing that. And funny enough, talking about Alex Jones doesn't like QAnon, right?
Yeah.
Because he sees it as rivalry.
Yeah.
It's a rival to his bullshit, right? Of course, Jones pushed the Pizzagate thing, and so did Blair White, by the way. I remember Hunter...
Wait, are you saying Blair White is some sort of grifter?
Yeah. It's but basically how that was basically made up shit online, okay?
Yeah.
And some idiot took it fucking seriously. Turned out with a shotgun, wanting to see where the they basically where the child where the child sex ring was in the fucking basement, which was complete and utter bullshit. Now,
yeah, it was stuck with Trump and Epstein.
Yeah, you see, the thing is that the QAnon conspiracy, for those, I should have explained this at the beginning, and I always forget to do this. I get too ahead of myself. The QAnon.
Well, that's fine. At least you didn't do what I did, which was at the end of the last episode, almost forget to deal with promotion.
The QAnon conspiracy theory is basically there's an elite in the world which is eating fucking babies. Okay. If you're a Jew, this is nothing new. We've heard this bullshit for thousands of fucking years, right? Okay.
Yeah.
This is just the latest anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. Okay. And
the oldest one that I'm aware of is the classic Passover matzah is done with the child of children. Well, with the blood of children. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
with the child of children. Wow, my brain does not work well today.
Yeah, but it's Passover tomorrow. Actually, begins tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they tried to kill us. They failed. Let's eat. Okay.
I apparently am forgetting when any Jewish holiday is, since half the ones I remember are in closer to the end of the year.
Anyways, well, yeah, we always remember Hanukkah because it's basically.
Well, and Yom Kippur.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're really, 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 really sorry. Anyways, sorry.
Hey,
Yeah, we're really
let
sorry.
me fast for a day
Yeah,
and
yeah, we're really, 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 really sorry. Now let's eat. I'm sorry. If you want to sum up Jewish holidays, Hanukkah. It's, or as she likes to call it, Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Hanukkah. I can't say this.
Yeah, Hanukkah, or as I like to call it, Jewish Christmas. It's basically, we kept the lights on, let's eat. Passover, they tried to kill us, they failed, let's eat. Yom Kippur, we're really, really sorry. Now let's eat. Happy New.
Well, I mean, there's fasting in Yom Kippur.
Supposedly, Rosh Hashanah.
What? I used to fast in Yom Kippur.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I wasn't exactly the most obedient of Jewish children. Can I just say that? Plus, also,
I mean, fair. Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah, it's like, dip apples.
It's a new year.
Happy New Year. Dip apples in honey. Yeah, let's see.
Oh my God, yes! I haven't had that in forever. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just saying that basically a lot of Jewish sort of festivals are based on, well, let's eat, which is fine.
Except for the one that is the best, except for Purim, which is the best holiday, which is this horrible stuff happened. Let's drink.
Anyways, we're gonna get completely off the fucking point.
I'm sorry.
Anyways,
I woke up not long before this episode. I went here on a whim, and I clearly am not taking things as seriously as I could be.
That's all right. It's all right. It's Friday. TFI.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, so QAnon conspiracy is just the latest fucking anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. That's basically what it is, right? Okay. And well, I just think you're really, really. I often find these people who obsess about shit like this. There's something lacking in their life, like a girlfriend.
I mean, like, what if they're not into women but don't want to admit it, so they dive down into conspiracy theories, and maybe that person needs a boyfriend or a non-binary friend or just a friend. Might help.
You see, the thing is, I just think we've reached a new level of craziness where basically some internet troll has caused a whole, untold, heap of fucking chaos and fucking mayhem. It's just, I mean, as I said, we should have seen this coming. Pizzagate, So, anyways, worth checking out. It's a 6-part series. As I said, I've seen the first 2. I wait to see what the rest has to say. But as I said, I've broken it down for you. It's basically an internet troll. Okay, supposedly giving updates about the fucking deep state, wherever the fuck that is. It's just bullshit. Someone is having a fucking laugh, okay? Anyways, so I have to explain this, right? So, previous video where I talked about the bullshit conspiracies about electoral fraud, YouTube took down and gave me a strike, right? I immediately appealed because the only thing I've ever said about about election, the supposed conspiracy theories about election fraud is that they're bullshit. And so, can I just repeat that to YouTube? I think electoral fraud conspiracy theories are bullshit. Got that? Good.
And I honestly was trying to make a joke because I would require like the superpowered abilities of the Flash to commit any sort of bad behavior during an election, but Yeah, electoral fraud is like complete bullshit.
Yeah. Okay, before we move on, I'm just checking with the chat. Freya, yeah, blood libel is the oldest anti-Semitic conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
That basically Jews are Christ killers. Yeah, me and Osmo, we were seeing it, in the front row of the the crucifixion with a big bowl of fucking popcorn. Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, I mean, we need to share the bowl
That's
of popcorn. That's why we got a really big bowl of popcorn.
yeah. Um, did I ever tell?
And it's pretty close to Passover, so.
Did I ever tell you the story about when I went into a sandwich shop around about 1990 in London?
No. I'm
Right.
curious now.
Okay, so I went into a sandwich shop it was about 1990, 1991, okay? And seriously, I was queuing to get a sandwich, right? And someone in the front of the queue about, getting his sandwich actually told the person making his sandwich, stop being so Jewish with the mayo. And no one...
Okay, I've got two problems with that.
What?
Well, one, why the fuck are you using Jewish as a negative term? And two, what the fuck does being Jewish have to do with, mayo?
Well, what it's meant to mean is stop being so tight.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that one. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one said a thing. No one fucking said a thing. I just remember that.
Yeah, there was a lot of that shit in the 90s.
It just reminded me of the thing in the South Park film where Cartman turns to Kyle at the apocalypse is upon them, and it looks like the world's going to end. And Cartman goes to Kyle, "I'm sorry I called you Jewish," and Kyle goes, "That's okay because I am Jewish." And then Cartman goes, "No, I'm sorry I called you Jewish," because he thinks that calling someone Jewish is like a put down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, Cartman's an intentionally horrible person. You're not supposed to be rooting for Cartman.
Anyways, talking about anti-Semitic pieces of shit.
Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yes. Right. So
who would have known that Marjorie Taylor Greene would say something anti-Semitic again?
No, see, I don't think it's anti-Semitism this time.
Okay.
Which makes a change.
It's just one of the other awful things that she says.
Yeah. Right. So let's play the video.
Oh God. May contain language that's offensive or inappropriate.
Well, let me tell you what else this bill did. And I voted no on it. I want you to know I voted no, and I want to tell you why. It called all the people at the Capitol on January 6th insurrectionists. There's dangerous language in that bill that sets the precedence.
Yeah, Marjorie, they were insurrectionists.
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of a technical term, they were insurrectionists because they were trying to overturn the government to, get someone in who wasn't elected. That's an insurrection. Even if the people didn't believe that they were insurrectionists, even if they didn't have the intent to, if they were convinced that they were doing the right thing, they're still insurrectionists.
Yeah.
There were people that were in the Capitol that didn't even go in. They may have just walked up and saw what was happening. That doesn't mean they're insurrectionists. That is
Marjorie, have you actually watched the fucking videos? They weren't just walking up. They were banging down the fucking doors and windows. I've seen them.
I mean, here's the thing. So, what they've been doing is they've been like, oh, the people who broke in, those are Black Lives Matter, and the other people who are just shouting outside the Capitol, those were, the people who are just protesting.
If you think Ozma's joking, she's not, because I've
no, that is legit what they do. What they've been doing.
There is a video of a woman who said, "Oh, I was in the Capitol that day, and it was Antifa."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's why they were all wearing Trump hats, is it?
That is a very serious charge that affects people for the rest of their life. And it's dangerous when Congress is passing bills so fragrantly labeling people insurrectionists when they have done nothing wrong.
Oh, it's dangerous to actually call out traitors. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Only because they're your fucking voter base.
I mean, yeah, but I mean also, we can't use... If someone murders someone, we can't use that dangerous language in calling that person a murderer because, being put in jail for the rest of your life, I mean, it affects the person's life, and, you should care about that, and... not use such flagrant language like calling a murderer a murderer.
Another thing her bill did was it called the Capitol a temple. A temple. Called the Capitol a temple. She thinks that place is a church. And she calls it a sacred place. I cannot vote for a bill that calls the Capitol a temple because that is one of the most evil places. Horrible things happen there. They attack God's creation and wiped out male and female. It's a place where they made abortion legal and funds it to kill over 62 million people in the womb.
Oh, God. Look, a fetus is not a human. It's a potential human being, but it can't live outside the fucking womb. Okay?
Yeah, and that's...
Marjorie, if you're so... if you and Caitlin Bennett and the fucking rest of the, anti-abortion fucking nutcases are so fucking concerned about, you're killing dead babies, right? Why don't you agree to adopt a baby who a mother can't afford to bring up or can't, isn't capable of bringing up, okay? Why don't you do that? Why don't you actually fucking read all that hippie shit? Jesus, preached in the New Testament, about loving thy neighbor, and being compassionate, huh?
No, they're too busy throwing stones at women who had miscarriages, acting like it's manslaughter.
Was it Georgia?
Or people who had abortions so that they wouldn't die, and where it would be both like a dead fetus and a dead woman, so they got an abortion so that one of those two would live.
Was it Georgia or Alabama? One of the two states. Didn't they say they were going to prosecute women who had miscarriages, or if they were raped?
Fuck.
I remember Andrew Neil.
I mean, at the very least, for
Andrew Neil brought it up with Ben Shapiro. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I might have been Georgia, but this is the kind of fucking thinking they are. So they kind of think that if a woman is raped, right, or if there has been incest and they abort their babies, that they should be fucking prosecuted. Hey, there are reasons that there are genetic reasons why you should not allow, babies to be born due to incest. Okay, no, right? Seriously, inbreeding is not a good idea. It really is not. Okay, it's been proven by this thing called medical science, right?
So yeah, you are correct. It is Georgia, and it is an anti-abortion bill. that would cause women who have miscarriages to be sentenced for second-degree murder. And could be sentenced anywhere between 10 and 30 years.
And I'll just remind
people... For having a miscarriage.
I'll just point out to people, Marjorie Taylor Greene's from Georgia. Her district is in Georgia.
What?
Yeah. I have to ask, why is Laura Loomer, still a thing? I really can't do, she's just a racist pig. And I know some people are going to go, you're being anti-Semitic, you called her a pig and she's Jewish. Well, guess what? I'm Jewish, and so is Ozma.
Yeah.
Anyways, if Democrats keep making life unbearable for white people will have no choice but to walk around in blackface to just be treated like a regular person in Joe Biden's America, where minorities are considered more valuable than white people in the eyes of the Democrat Party. Ah, God, white people are the victims again. No, they're not.
Well, also, there are minorities who are also white, and
Jews aren't specifically white. You do get black Jews, right?
Yeah.
Despite what some, far right people in Israel might think.
But I mean, also people in wheelchairs, people who have had various traumatic injuries, various veterans. There's a lot of people who are minorities who LGBT. That's another fucking minority where that has nothing to do with your goddamn skin color, so you don't need to put fucking blackface on.
I don't know what the Jewish equivalent to an Uncle Tom is, but Laura Loomer is, self-hating Jew, isn't it? But she's not quite that.
Jews for Jesus?
Put it like this: Laura Loomer will use the fact she's Jewish as a shield. Against the accusation that she's racist. But she is. You can just see this. This is, out and out racism. Anyway, so I know some people are probably watching this going, who the fuck is Laura Loomer? Well, Laura Loomer is a far-right supposed journalist, okay? Who's been banned from just about every platform. And famously, she had a meltdown on InfoWars. And I just love playing this again and again and again. Because it's funny.
Right out of Laura Loomer with a t-shirt, a free Laura Loomer or freeloomer.com. Why do you think they've done this? I guess because they see Trump green lighting it, not doing anything so far, or where is? Because I get you're pissed off. You're fighting hard every time I'm in the trenches. I see you there. Well, what do you think Trump should do? What should we do? Where do you see this going? Because Trump doesn't get his own videos get banned and shadow banned and blocked when we promote them. Trump just thinks, I can overpower.
No, he doesn't. That's another lie from Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Power this myself. No, you can't. Plus,
Alex Jones lies?
Yeah, pathologically.
If he doesn't do something, he's aiding and abetting this. What do you think, Laura?
Yeah. Well, I wish that he would do something. Like I said, I confronted Congress, and when Jack Dorsey was testifying in September, and I begged President Trump, I begged him to do something before it was too late. And that was when I still had access to my my Twitter account, right? But I was mocked, right? Look at that asshole, Bill. It's mocked me and called me crazy. But what are they doing?
Didn't Alex Jones just mock her?
Yeah, because Alex Jones is a fucking asshole.
Oh, yeah, but hold on. He's good on it. Aren't they meant to be allies or something? What the fuck did he just do?
Well, it's sort of... Look, some people are
just go back
fucking horrible assholes.
My Twitter account, right? But I was mocked,
sexism
right?
took
Look at that asshole, Bill.
Yeah, he's taking the piss out of her. Yeah, supposedly because Alex Jones himself has been... Oh, for fuck's sake. He's really... Hold on. He's plugging a Patreon account. Jones is fucking loaded. No, Patreon. I don't think it's for him. Well, it's somebody who works for him. What the fuck? Anyway. Sorry, I'm just noticing these things. They're meant to be allies. And I mean, Jones himself, as I said, has been banned from every fucking social media platform. Yeah? I thought you'd be sympathetic towards her.
That would require the ability to sympathize.
Yeah. Jones doesn't have that. He's a narcissist.
It's mocked me and called me crazy, but what are they doing? I want to know what people are actually going to do. My life is ruined. Does anybody understand how ruined my life is? I'm sick of it. I don't want to listen to people tell me that I'm a conspiracy theorist. They don't know what it's like.
No, I understand. I just think you need to go with it. And, I understand I've been through this myself, but realize...
So doesn't know how to go with her. So that's when she she was banned from Twitter. And she basically chained herself to some railings outside Twitter's HQ. Yeah, I mean, she's a nutcase. You know, I mean, you know, just because she lost her fucking Twitter account. Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, maybe you shouldn't say, you know, certain shit, you know. I mean, you know, you don't just immediately get banned from Twitter. You will get a warning, you know. Don't say shit. That shit, you know. I mean, we've all
but she's busy being a proud Islamophobe.
Yeah, and she is. I was going to play you the George Galloway interview, but the problem with that is I don't really like George Galloway. He's a rape apologist.
Fair.
And he's now saying that he's going to vote Tory because he doesn't like the SNP. And of course, yes, I know the SNP have been in the news today again because Alex Salmond basically doesn't get the message that, you know, he's a has-been and should just fuck off and enjoy his retirement. That's a story we might cover on Monday. Anyways, yeah, Laura Loomer, why is she still a thing? I have to ask that. Plus,
if you shout loud enough, you get some people's attention.
Yeah, now, this is a piece of good news. Rebel media have been demonetized. I know some people, well, you know who they are. Yeah, they're a Canadian far-right media outlet on YouTube. And they used to...
What's up with the fucking Canadian far-right? It you know, I used to grow up with Canada being praised, and all I hear now is about the Nazi memorials and the far-right Canadians and Jordan Peterson, who's also a far-right Canadian. It's like, what the hell? What the hell, Canada? You're supposed to be better than America. What are you doing wrong?
Now, in their time, they've employed Tommy Robinson, who made a video having a go at the victims of the Grenfell fire, basically saying they deserved it because they were illegal immigrants. You know, that some of them were illegal immigrants. And if you think that that's untoward, I've often mentioned him on this stream. Terry the Tory troll! When the police shot Charles Duminez, who was mistaken for a terrorist, it just turned out to be a Brazilian electrician trying to mind his own fucking business. Terry said, well, you know, he deserved it. He was an illegal immigrant. Seriously, there are people who do believe in that. But they also employed Katie Hopkins. Now, funny enough, they got rid of Katie. You know, even for Rebel Media, Katie Hopkins and Tommy Robinson were too much for them. And I just think it's laughable that Tommy Robinson seems to think that he's a fucking journalist. No, you're not. You're just a football hooligan. Nothing more, nothing less. A racist football hooligan. So, yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? I'm not saying that Rebel Media should be kicked off YouTube. I don't, but what I do think is that what they should do is, with all these far-right channels, right, demonetize them, right, and find out.
And also, they need to monetize a lot more trans YouTubers.
Well, yeah, monetize. I wonder if they demonetized most of these far-right channels, would those far-right channels start, changing their tune?
Some of them might.
Yeah,
some of them,
yeah.
The people who are closest to, the people who are closer to the centrist type of attitude might. The people who are more passionate about the grifters might. The passionate people.
But what I'm trying to say is, we would find out who the grifters really are. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for the most part. Unless they're getting money directly through sources outside of YouTube, in which case those grifters probably wouldn't.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I'm just thinking that a lot of these people are in it for just for the money, right?
Yeah.
And they don't believe. I mean, we know, for instance, I know Alex Jones is banned from Twitter. Sorry, not from Twitter. He is banned from Twitter. He is also banned from Twitter. But Twitter was one of the last of the major social media networks to ban him. Funny enough, but sorry, I've lost my track. But yeah, Alex, we know from what's been revealed about Alex Jones that he doesn't believe half the shit he says. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he wishes he hadn't fucking met Donald Trump. I remember that one. Yeah. He never fucking heard of Donald Trump or Roger Stone. Yeah. We played that a few weeks ago. So what I'm saying is that I reckon a lot of these, the Stephen Crowders and the Tim Pools of the world, right? I reckon, and in fact, Tim Pool was on the left. He was involved with the Occupy movement, from what I've been told. So we would soon find out if these people, really mean what they say, yeah, or if they would suddenly have a change of heart because there wasn't money in it. Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Although, yeah, it like I said, it depends on how much money they're making from YouTube and how much money they're making from other sources.
Yeah, let me just have a look at the chat. By the way, Freya, thank you for your contributions. They do matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Right.
That's cool.
Okay, so Britain first. Right.
Oh God.
Yes. Thuggish flag shaggers, as I like to call them. They were trying to get Britain first to have political party status. In other words, being able to register with the Electoral Commission. And this was an appeal against the decision because the Electoral Commission had turned them down. Sorry, completely lost my train of thought. Sorry, long day. So basically, they can't put candidates up in the local elections, which is a good thing. I actually do remember 4 years ago, Paul Golding, who's the leader of Britain First, was the London mayoral candidate. And when Sadiq Khan won, in this country where they have to count, they have... Actually, let me see if I can find a photo of it to explain it. Hold on a second, folks.
Sure. Also, of course, it's Northern Ireland that has the goddamn Britain First bullshit.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the thing is, there's quite a few. Well, there's way too many racists and bigots in Northern Ireland.
Yeah, and it's a dumb economic move because of Brexit.
See if I can find an image of this to better explain it. Yeah. Yeah, here we are. Right. So when there was the count at the 2016 mayoral election, which announced that Stuart Kenny had won the election, because Stuart Kenny is a Muslim, and well, Paul Golding doesn't like those Muslims, he turned his back, and we took the piss. We would go, "Oh, are you praying to Mecca? Are you, Paul? Now?"
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, he's just full of hate. I mean, his whole life is just like, I mean, he was a former BN, British National Party councillor and whatever else. The guy's just, he's just a Neanderthal fucking racist thug. That's what he is. I mean, him and Tommy are two pods of the same thuggish fucking racist, pod. So yeah, they've been trying to get political party status in Northern Ireland. Now, Northern Ireland has different rules. It's to do with the Good Friday Agreement, I think. But anyways, they failed to do so. Plus, also, Paul, mate, you need to get yourself a bottle of Head and Shoulders, because boy, you've got some serious dandruff there.
I think that might be snow.
Oh, fuck off! You just spoiled the joke.
Oh, I'm sorry. I take things literally sometimes, and I thought you were really thinking it was dandruff. Look, it's secret revenge because you've insulted Neanderthals by comparing him to Neanderthal. Neanderthals were cooler than he could ever be. Anyways.
Yeah. And I'd say him along with his former deputy leader Jada Franson, who, by the way, he beat the shit out of because they were in a relationship, and it was revealed eventually that he was domestically abusing her. They were jailed, and they basically terrorized a Muslim woman who was pregnant, so much so that she gave birth in utero, stillborn. That's pretty horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a nice person. All right. Talking about the DUP. So,
What?
Yeah. Arlene Foster. Basically, so the DUP who were founded by the Reverend Ian Paisley, yes, the one who went never, no surrender. Who basically had a campaign in the 60s, Save Northern Ireland from Sodomy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very open-minded and progressive was Ian.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so basically they're getting their panties in a bind because some comedian basically suggested that Eileen Foster might be a butch lesbian.
Closeted
butch lesbian. Yeah, no, get a fucking sense of humour, will you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, here we are. The Democratic Unity Party is furious as the bisexual comedian Fern Brady for repeatedly joking that Arlene Foster is a closeted butch lesbian. Fern Brady, a stand-up comedian from Scotland, jokingly accused the DUP's leader of being in denial about her sexuality during a BBC One special during her hour-long hold on, sorry. Fern Britton, a stand-up comedian from Scotland, jokingly accused the DUP's leader of being in denial about her sexuality during a BBC One special. Right now that makes sense. During her hour-long comedy special, Brady recalled when she wound up the DUP in 2018 by saying Foster looked like a butch lesbian masquerading as a straight woman. According to the Belfast Belfast Telegraph's Sunday Life, Brady said in her new special Power and Chaos that the DUP is a party that hates women and gay people. They do.
Yeah.
Right, so I guess this is a video.
It's terrible being an intelligent woman trapped in a Scottish accent. I don't read reviews, but I saw one by accident recently. It opened with, Fern Brady scares me.
That's just a thing to promote her show. But the thing is, I get the joke, right? And I do find it funny, actually. Particularly considering the DUP's attitude towards the LGBTQ community, which, shall we say, is a tad backwards, a tad bigoted, just a tad. Anyways, another DUP-related story. The DUP critic pulled from live TV for calling out racism and homophobia. Ireland's national broadcast RTE is facing criticism after broadcaster Joe Broley was pulled off air for saying that the DUP is homophobic and racist. I mean, it's just stating fact they are.
I mean, that's just mentioning, facts.
Yeah, they are. They are racist, and they are, they are homophobic. So, yeah, why the fuck did you pull him off for telling the fucking truth? Yeah?
I mean, technically, with statements like that, you're making an opinion statement. So it's not even technically a fact statement, although...
It is a fact. It is a fact. They are homophobic. They oppose gay marriage. They, they oppose trans equality, right? They're racist. They're anti-immigration. Yeah. They can't decide whether they're pro-Brexit or not. They want to be considered to be British, not Irish, when in fact the rest of Ireland wants to be considered, Irish.
My brain is still on fucking technical stuff from that Legal Eagle episode back in the previous thing you're talking about. Sorry.
Right.
My brain's on technical mode.
Right.
But yeah.
So he was just stating fucking fact. So yeah, we have another DUP story. Funny that.
Wait, Arlene Foster? I heard that she's a closeted butch lesbian.
Yeah, so DUP leader Arlene Foster has challenged finally to finally stop ignoring the LGBT plus community and start listening. Yeah, she's a politician, and on politicians meant to listen. Anyways.
Well, politicians are supposed to be representatives of the people, and instead they're representatives of financial interests 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel sorry for the LGBT community in Northern Ireland. It's as if, I mean, the other week I was, talked about Sammy Wilson, who's a DUP MP at Westminster, who basically said that he wouldn't wear the red ribbon that everyone else wears on World AIDS Day, because basically he essentially thinks that AIDS is still gay cancer.
Oh, God.
And he doesn't think there should be a ban on conversion therapy.
Oh, yeah, of course not.
Yeah, but we are talking about hardcore fucking, homophobic bigots here. I mean, the thing is, if there's one party which is closest to the GOP in the United States, it's the DUP.
Yeah.
Arlene Foster has been challenged to meet with LGBT plus people in her role as Northern Ireland's First Minister after years of lecturing at the community. Foster's absent relationship with her LGBT plus constituents was highlighted by Green Party Deputy Malachi O'Hara after the DUP leader justified a meeting with loyalist paramilitaries by saying it was important that all communities have a voice in the political process.
It's always about
O'Hara suggested she extend the same goodwill to the LGBT plus community as he urged her reflect on her lack of engagement thus far. I think the time has long passed for the First Minister to have met with LGBTQ organisations, O'Hara told Belfast Live.
Yeah, you kind of
it's being mean. I can read it. Don't worry.
All right. Go on then.
There are issues faced by the community that need to be addressed, whether that's hate crime, access to IVF. What's IVF? In vitro fertilization. Yeah. Sorry, my brain fart there. Risk of homelessness, health inequalities, poor mental health, etc. And the First Minister really needs to reflect on that. The fact that she has never met those organizations.
Well, I'm actually shocked. I mean, look, she's the First Minister, which is kind of the way to explain it to America. You know, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland have their own, ostensibly parliaments. It's not legally the case in Northern Ireland and Wales, but Scotland does have a parliament. But so basically, the First Minister is kind of like the head of the government in all those three regions, right? So you kind of think that the First Minister's job would be to meet all groups from in that region, right, and that locality. So the fact that she's not meeting LGBT plus groups really stinks, okay? And as for the thing about homelessness, right? Well, that's more likely to happen in Northern Ireland. LGBT plus people are more likely to be made homeless in Northern Ireland, thanks to the kind of rhetoric which Arlene Foster and co spout, and try and brainwash, people into, because these are people who are fundamentalist fucking Christians. And basically, parents are going to kick out LGBT plus, kids. Yeah.
So, Arlene Foster became the first DUP leader to attend a LGBT plus event. Even though she didn't meet with the organizations, she went to an event when she addressed a pink news reception at Stormont.
Stormont. That's where the Northern Irish Assembly sit. The thing is that
in 2018.
Let me tell you about those pink news events, right? They're basically a jolly, okay? It's free wine and food, okay? I've been to them, right? So I've been to one in Westminster Parliament, which is the national Parliament. So that's right. I've been to Parliament several times. And her attendance at the time was hailed as a possible sign that the DUP was changing direction, but O'Hara, who is gay, said Foster simply used the opportunity to effectively lecture at the community. Fun. In her speech, the DUP leader praised the LGBT plus community as some of the brightest and best of Northern Ireland, but maintained her opposition to same-sex marriage and asked people to respect that. She also declined to apologize for the DUP's past treatment of LGBT plus people, saying it wouldn't be fruitful for anybody. Well, first of all, that she said that, LGBT plus people are some of the brightest. Yeah, but you won't afford them the same fucking rights as everyone, the rest of the fucking society. Yeah, here's the thing, right? And I've always said this: if the DUP consider Northern Ireland to be part of Britain, right? Well, then maybe you should, like, you know, obey the laws and attitudes that you know, on the mainland, huh? You know.
Well, yeah, but I mean that'd be like asking Ben Shapiro to obey the reasoning of Israel. Foster opted not to attend the event a second time in 2019 and sent no other representative in her place, meaning the DUP was the only party across the political spectrum not in attendance. She does not appear to have made any public appearances with other LGBT plus groups in the years that followed. You know, the brightest and the best. I care a lot about your opinions, but this is the last time you're going to see me. She has, however, led the DUP in repeatedly using an assembly veto mechanism to block change in Northern Ireland, including the introduction of same-sex marriage. God damn it, it's still illegal in Northern Ireland?
No, it is now. It is now because the assembly, basically, there's a mechanism. The the assembly basically collapsed. Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I should have read like the start of the next paragraph. Even after marriage equality was finally passed in 2020, Foster continued to undermine the ruling by complaining it had been imposed upon Northern Ireland. You know, by the Northern Ireland people.
How dare! How dare! You know, you consider yourself British and you actually have to obey British laws. Oh, yeah.
I know. Her outdated opposition to abortion and same-sex marriage is now prompting younger people from unionist backgrounds to turn away from the social conservatism of the DUP and other elements of unionism, O'Hara said.
Right, so I should explain to people outside, well, just basically outside Northern Ireland, because there's plenty of people in the UK who won't get this. Right, voting in Northern Ireland goes down sectarian lines, okay? If you are a Catholic, you are likely to vote Sinn Féin or the SDLP, okay? But if you're Protestant, you're likely to vote the DUP or the UUP. The UUP, Ulster Unionist Party. Now, I know some people say, what's the difference between the DUP and the UUP? Well, the DUP, if you took away all their social conservatism, economically they're on the left, right? Whereas the Ulster Unionist Party, well, they're social conservatives and they're also fiscal conservatives. Okay, so basically, UUP used to have an association with the Conservative Party on the mainland here. So now, if you are LGBTQ in Northern Ireland, right, you can vote for the Green Party. Obviously, not a bad idea, because the Green Party do support LGBTQ rights. More than
Green Party in the UK, just to be clear, because the Green Party in the US is not so great.
I was just about to say, sorry. I forgot what I was going to.
Oh shit! Sorry.
So, the Green Party speak up for LGBTQ rights more than fucking Keir Starmer and the Labour Party are doing. Anyways, so. You can vote for Green. You can vote for the Alliance Party, who are also pro-LGBTQ. They're the non-sectarian party. Okay. Now, where was I? Yeah. So, but the Catholic, the parties which sort of supposedly represent the Catholic community, Sinn Féin and the SDLP, they're both left-wing. They both support LGBTQ equality. Because I know that some people say, Sinn Féin are just as bad as the DUP. Not on that issue, they're not. Certainly not. And I know some people say I'm biased because I support a United Ireland. Yeah, I do support United Ireland, but I never fucking supported the IRA, thank you very much. And I never would. Never, so, basically, if you're a Protestant and you're LGBTQ, you can't actually vote for a party which supports LGBT equality and also supports keeping the union with the rest of the UK, right? So, it kind of sucks, as far as I'm concerned. Anyways, Yeah. So, most Republicans support marriage equality and LGBTQ non-discrimination.
Yeah, I know. I covered this on Wednesday as well. I wanted a little bit of brightness to.
You covered it on Wednesday. Yeah, you covered it on Wednesday, did you?
Yeah.
Well, go on. Give me a plug.
Oh yeah, and Rainbow Shelter News on the Fluid Voice channel. We do news commentary every Wednesday. We do like a lighter brush over news or whatnot. This gets more in depth and a lot more things, and there's a lot more to learn here. But if you don't have the time for that, or you want just someone else to listen to my beautiful voice or see my beautiful face, you can check out my channel. But yeah, no, it's like 61% of Republicans, 75 or 80% of Democrats. I forgot there's like a whole breakdown, and I don't remember all of it, but yeah.
I don't know what Republicans they surveyed, right? Because
they mentioned that a lot of it was because a lot of people had already assumed there was non-discrimination laws and were kind of like gay and trans people couldn't just get kicked out or fired for being gay or trans.
Well, the reason I say that, right, is because certainly Republicans in, say, New England and on the West Coast are more likely to support the LGBTQ community because they tend to be more socially liberal. But they're not the ones in charge of the fucking Republican Party at the moment. It's the fucking nutcases like Marjorie Taylor fucking Greene.
Well, yeah. So I want to say like the evangelicals, it's only like 20-some%.
Yes, but they're the ones. But they're the ones in control at the moment. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I just so.
And you
the
know
Republicans in the Senate are still fighting against LGBTQ non-discrimination policies despite this, because they don't actually represent the people in America. They most of the people in America, they represent the minority of evangelicals or whatever who don't want this.
Well, yeah. Now, I'm not denying there isn't such a thing as a moderate Republican, right? I mean, you know, I mentioned Mark Edge earlier. I mean, Mark, I would say, is a moderate Republican. I mean, he's a libertarian, he's a conservative libertarian. You know, he supports LGBTQ people. Yeah, he does. Seriously, he does. You know, I mean, I'm sure I'd disagree with him about tax and gun laws, but you know, on the whole, you know, we when it comes to social policy, we agree. You know, and those are the kind of, you know, I've always said this. You know, I do have, you know, it might surprise some people, I do have some Tory friends, but those Tory friends I have, you know, I don't have to sit there and argue the toss about fucking abortion or LGBTQ equality. You know, these are people who get it. You know, they're socially, you know, they're socially liberal, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the concerning thing is obviously a lot of moderate Republicans are willing to have LGBTQ rights be collateral damage to get what they want or what they believe.
Yeah,
they want.
yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, I was covering yesterday the fact that Netanyahu has been returned to government in Israel, right? But this time he's going to get a majority with the help of some very odious far-right partners, and they don't like the LGBT community. And you know, Netanyahu has made a big deal about, you know, he supports LGBTQ equality. Yet, you know, one has to wonder, to save his own political skin, is he prepared to throw LGBTQ people under the bus? And it's the same with conservatives, generally. You know, they talk the talk. Now, granted, David Cameron, was possibly the most socially liberal Conservative Prime Minister we've ever had, right? And he did truly support LGBT equality. I do actually, think he did, right? But now we've got Boris Johnson, and he's prepared to throw LGBTQ people under the bus to get whatever he wants. Yeah, we've seen that. Yet again, Liz Truss, as I was reporting yesterday, saying, "You're going to ban conversion therapy," and it's like, well, get on with it then. Stop saying you're going to do it, just do it. But they won't.
Sorry, I was wrong. Even most white evangelical Protestants were in favor of LGBT non-discrimination. Now, that LGBT non-discrimination and marriage equality laws are two different things. It's like 51% of Republicans were in favor of the marriage equality laws, and that one I believe has more opposition in the Republican Party.
But anyways, it doesn't surprise me, this actually.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't live in the United States, and so what I get to hear is just those who are the loudest, and obviously the extremists are always the loudest, right? So yeah, it's good to hear, but whether this results in a better treatment of LGBTQ people, I'm not sure, because as I've said, there are still way too many reactionaries involved with the Republicans.
Well, also there's subtle discrimination that they don't necessarily oppose as strongly.
Anyways, talking about reactionary Republicans, this was on the cards.
Yeah,
Arkansas becomes the second state to sign shameful anti-trans sports ban in less than a month. Do you want to give it a read?
Yeah, so Republican Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson signed a ban. Sorry, I don't care how his name is pronounced. That's how I'm pronouncing it now. Signed a ban on transgender women and girls and compete.
Why not just call him transphobic wanker?
Because I like Asa Hutchinson. Well, Asa. I mean, that's almost too, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. Transgender women and girls competing in school sports into law on Thursday in signing Senate Bill 354, known as the quote-unquote Fairness in Women's Sports Act, which is fucking bullshit right there. Hutchinson has made Arkansas the second U.S. State this year to pass a ban targeting transgender athletes who want to compete as their correct gender. This ban applies to all trans students, including at elementary, middle school, and high schools, as well as in colleges. And by the way, in elementary school, there is no fucking advantage thing. Actually, there's a slight advantage to girls in elementary school, I believe, if I recall correctly, depending on the sport.
And this probably won't be the last state to do it, okay? We've had Mississippi do it, now we've had Arkansas. I'm sure, I mean, I know there are planned legislation, bills in other states. So, and this is all because, Joe Biden is pro-LGBTQ. It's just them, getting back at him. And the, because the thing is, right, people say, well, so what? Maybe most trans people don't want to do sport. Well, that's not the point. First of all, it is discrimination against those who do. But second, it has a secondary effect that basically it basically just foments transphobic hate. Okay, just as banning black people from not being able to sit at the same lunch counter as white folk, and having to sit at the back of the bus. It just does that. It just breeds a climate of transphobic hate. Yeah, that's what it does. And of course, their shield is, oh, what about the children? Have you actually spoken to any trans children? Have any of these people done so? No. That's the point I keep making time and time and time and time again. Oh.
Yeah, which is why I love that speech that one guy gave to Congress.
Yeah, of course, Missouri is another state thinking about bringing this sort of ban in, isn't it? This is even worse.
Oh, God.
Now,
is it... Oh, wait, I have a question. Is it worse than the Arkansas bill to allow EMT and other medical professionals to not treat LGBT plus people?
Did you cover that on Rainbow Shelter News last night?
Yes. And
on Wednesday. Okay, I think it's Thursday. I covered that as well. I mean, you've been a victim of a mass shooting. Are you LGBTQ? Well, I'm not going to treat you then. You can bleed to death on the fucking sidewalk. I mean, fuck.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
Fuck Arkansas.
Yeah. Bill Clinton was from Arkansas.
Yeah, well, Bill Clinton was also formerly a Republican, and his policies weren't that far off from Republicans at the time.
Yeah. So, Tennessee Republicans launch a chilling bid to ban LGBT plus books from schools in yet another attack on queer kids. This is one step removed from fucking book burnings, all right? And we all know who did book burnings, don't we? Yeah. I'm not even going to say it.
I was thinking of another burning when it came to burning Beatles albums, and was trying to figure out a joke to apply that to the book burnings. But but I forgot who did that. And also it was albums, so completely different.
Oh yeah, that's when John Lennon said that the Beatles were bigger than Jesus. Yeah. Well, they were.
Yeah, and I mean, and they got money from it, and
Tennessee lawmakers have advanced a bill seeking to ban LGBT inclusive textbooks and teaching materials from schools. Yeah, but they'll be all for books which preach LGBT hate towards the LGBT community, won't they? Yeah.
Well, also, they'll only teach kids about straight stuff. So if they end up feeling different things from what they're supposed to feel, they have no reference point and no way of knowing what's going on, and can feel alone and miserable.
I wonder, right, in 20 or 30 years' time, right, when the Republican Party have finally sussed hating on LGBT plus people is bad, wrong,
Well, sorry, we'll have passed the point of global warming crisis, and humanity will be almost dying out. So the Republicans will then double down on their hatred.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, right. You look back at what happened with the Black Civil Rights Movement, right? And eventually, politicians, both parties tweaked. Oh, racism, bad, right?
Well, avert racism.
Yeah, avert racism, bad.
That's why they did dog whistles.
Yeah, I mean, they still do dog whistles, and
I know.
Richard Nixon sort of, with the whole Southern strategy and all that. But the point I'm trying to make is that, I'm sure there are possibly some people still alive who remember, shall we say, sections, particularly of the Democrat Party in the South, were pro-segregation.
Yeah.
Right? And it's, you know, and of course many of those politicians who were segregation Democrats eventually became Republicans. Funny that.
What?
Yeah. Well, the likes of Storm Furman. Anyways, what I'm trying to say here is, I hope the LGBTQ community remembers all this shit, right, and reminds the Republican Party of this in 30 fucking years, you know? Because I know that we will overcome. I know that we will win eventually. We're going to have to go through some shit first, yeah. But eventually we will win.
Yeah, well, I mean, change oftentimes does win, but there are aspects of change that still have been slow to occur. There's still a lot of racism and anti-LGBTQ stuff. Well, I mean, obviously, anti-LGBTQ stuff is the newer brand of hatred, but I think a lot of the things that need to occur. Well, Martin Luther King Jr. has a good quote about it, which is that, and that I forgot the quote. God damn it. It's effectively something along the lines of oppression for one is oppression for all type thing.
Yeah, and the one thing that's been written out of the history books to do with Martin Luther King was that he was a socialist.
Yeah, and that sort of quote from Martin Luther King is not far off from a quote from the original Internationale, or perhaps like one of the slightly later versions. Maybe the one I used to listen to all the time as a kid. Billy Bragg.
Oh, Billy, yeah. Yeah, Billy, he's cool. Joe Biden urged to do the right thing and legally recognize non-binary people with passports. Yeah, why not? Yeah. You know, I don't know if any country has done so far. I think there might
be. I can't remember for sure though.
Maybe Denmark. I don't know. They've always been very, very progressive when it comes to this sort of thing. But yeah, Osma's looking it up as we speak.
Yes, I am. What country? Okay, so Ontario did it in 2017. The Canadian government has done
No. You said Ontario
passport.
What are you saying? Are you saying that state of Ontario? Sorry,
Ontario, Canada.
Right. Okay. Ontario, Canada.
And then Canada, the country, in terms of. Oh wait, no, that was. Yeah, so that I believe passports at least 8 countries, including Canada, have legalized their gender identifiers. So Argentina, Australia, Denmark, Iceland, Nepal, and New Zealand.
Nepal,
along with Canada.
Nepal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's always one that you don't expect. But yeah, those are the countries that allow that for passports. So,
mind you, then
you
again,
know, if U.S. can do that, we can be like one of the top 10.
Yeah. So yeah. You know, there's no reason not to. There is no reason. Okay.
Yeah.
I know some people say, well, yeah, but what about those countries that don't recognise non-binary? You know, they won't be able to enter those countries. Well, there's a whole slew of fucking countries me and Ozma can't enter at the moment because we're trans. So we're making.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Injustice everywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. There we go. That's the quote.
That's the Martin Luther King quote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Martin Luther King was a good guy, and
yeah.
You know, we must always keep the memory of him alive. You know, because I mean it's over 50 years since he died. but he one of the most powerful voices of the 20th century, along with Nelson Mandela. Anyways, so
Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr., and Mahatma Gandhi.
Yeah, yep, I'd agree with that. Anyways, so there's no reason not to. Okay, and as I said, what are those countries that you would recognise it? Well, as I said, me and Ozma, I can't go to Dubai, right? Because they won't allow entry to trans people. So plenty of get on with it, Biden.
And also countries recognize things sometimes from other countries' laws, even if they don't recognize it in their own country. Like if I go over to Japan, I will be legally recognized as a woman, despite the fact that if I was born in Japan, it would require gender-confirming surgery for me to be considered a woman. The bottom surgery, it would be required.
I was going to say, it's funny you say that. For instance, in Israel, same-sex marriage is not legal, but if you have a same-sex, if you do have a same-sex marriage outside Israel, it's recognized inside Israel.
Yeah.
Anyways, saw this tweet. You're not going to get this gag, but you're not going to know who Chris de Burgh is, and it's probably a good thing. He's a terrible fucking balladeer, I guess would be the term to use for him. Never seen you so Tory as you do tonight. Never seen you so far right. Of course, having a go at Keir Starmer. Yes, we're shitting on Starmer again. Well, he deserves to be shut up on. I mean, the guy. I mean, this week, Labour are now fucking supporting fucking police brutality. Oh, great, And, any Labour MP which who questions, police brutality is being demonised in the press. And when Keir Starmer says that, he thinks people should, respect the flag and dress smartly, I'm wondering if when he says dress smartly, does he mean black shirts and fucking jack boots? Yeah. Never mind about Keir
no, he prefers brown shirts.
Never mind about Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer wanted to be the new, Clement Attlee. He now wants to, he seems to be going, more, Oswald Mosley's fucking route. Anyways, this brings me on to this. Yes, from now on, I am supporting the Green Party. I have decided. I can no longer support Labour at all. I've had enough. The thing is, we need opposition to what is going on, and you're not hearing any voice of opposition from Keir Starmer. He seems to be applauding our descent into fucking fascism, or saying, nothing.
Well, I mean, saying nothing is almost implicit support. I mean, the whole point of everything I've learned about the Holocaust is speaking out. Even if you do very little, speaking out is like so important for just showing opposition to this bullshit. It's really important for preventing another fascist government and another Holocaust. Like, there's been a lot of people who have tried to prevent that sort of thing, and
well, let me think. So, Keir Starmer has refused to speak up for trans people. Sean Berry, the leader of the Green Party, has made an effort to do so. He hasn't asked for various government ministers to resign due to corruption and cronyism. The Green Party have. The Green Party have basically spoken up against, people, being fucked over due to COVID. no, I'm not hearing anything out of the Labour Party about that. It's just. But most of all, it is to do with, obviously, trans rights are close to my heart, and I just feel, yes, the Green Party do have some transphobes in their ranks. We know this, but so do fucking Labour. So do the Tories. The other reason to support the Green Party is that they support universal basic income, UBI, and they have not got on the bandwagon about this like the Liberal Democrats have. The Liberal Democrats are now supporting it because they think that it might attract younger voters. The Green Party have always been consistent on UBI. They have been the party campaigning for it for the longest. And yes, it is something which needs to happen. And it's something which, unfortunately, Aria doesn't understand, even though there are some libertarians who do get it. Well, actually, no, tell a lie. I'm telling a lie about Aria. That she did sort of say she does get it, she does understand it. And she does see, in some circumstances, it might be, warranted. But that's like on if we land on Mars. I remember that conversation we had on the Fluid Voice about it.
Yeah.
I think that's
and here I am doing like half paying attention to you and half looking at pictures of Nazis to find one that looks like Keir Starmer. And I did find the closest I've got is Friedrich Jekyll or whatever.
So, but you were telling me. So, do you want to tell me? Because I mean, the Green Party obviously have an association with the Green Party in America. In fact, to confuse everyone, there's actually 2 Green Parties in America, from my understanding. But the
really?
Yeah. But the official Green Party, you said that there's problems.
Yeah, and I can't remember them off the top of my head at the moment. Fuck. I was looking them up earlier. Because I know they, I think it had something to do with the person running, during 2020, maybe. I can't remember.
But I remember back at, and this is some time ago, 2012, I remember I was following Jill Stein's campaign, and I saw an interview with she was the Green Party presidential candidate, and she was giving an interview, and then halfway through the interview, completely out of the fucking blue, the interviewer asked her, said, "Do you think that trans women should be able to use women's toilets?" And it was like, what the fuck? That does go out of left field. And of course, it wasn't as much of an issue back then, right? As it is now. I mean, for fuck's sake, here's the thing about the whole, trans women have been using, female toilets for fucking decades. It's only just become all of a sudden it's just become an issue, right? Now, I'll admit, Jill Stein said, yeah, trans women should be able to use, female toilets, which is the correct answer, of course. But the thing with Jill Stein was she got in a knot about vaccines during the 2016 presidential campaign.
Yeah.
Now, are there...
vaccines might have been it, but it might have been another issue as well.
Well, you see...
here's 2020 candidates.
I remember Aria bringing up the thing about Jill Stein and the Wi-Fi's. Jill Stein was saying that Wi-Fi could cause cancer.
That's
I remember that one as well. Look, I will say that look, the Green Party do have their sort of crazy fringe. I'm not denying that. Right? There are plenty of anti-vaxxers I know are Green Party supporters.
Too many anti-vaxxers or Green Party supporters, but
yes,
also
but I would say
too many politicians in that.
Yes, but in this country at least, Caroline Lucas and Jenny Jones and everything, they've been pretty adamant about support for medical science. Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, the one thing I like about the Green Party is they do care. They are proper fucking socialists. Okay. Yeah, and that's what I like about them. They do want to oppose the fucking Tories. That's the other thing. I didn't make this choice lightly. I want to be able to support Labour, but I can't. I just can't with the direction. And you're scrambling around looking for opposition to all this bullshit. I mean, the Liberal Democrats, yeah, sure, they seem pretty progressive. But I can tell you something, right? The Green Party, the Liberal Democrats, at the parliamentary level, other than Tim Farron, who takes big donations from Christian fundamentalists, the grassroots of the Liberal Democrats aren't always consistent in being liberal. I give you the example of a local Liberal Democrat councillor who said to me she had nothing against gay people so long as they didn't live next door to her. Very liberal, not. Anyways, so my suggestion to other trans people is join the Green Party and support them. Right?
Yes. In the UK.
Yeah. Well, I would say in the US, I'm sure they're good people. I mean, I know.
It's fine to support them in the US too, but
I know that people like Richard D. Wolf and Chris Hedges, they're involved with the Green Party in the United States, and they're good people, right? Particularly. Richard D. Wolf.
There are just a lot of problems in terms of the.
I mean, the other
electoral system.
Well, yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say, because I will tell you something before I go. When 2016, I said I couldn't support Hillary Clinton. I just couldn't. Right? She was just too right wing for me. Okay. So I said, I publicly endorsed Jill Stein. I mean, it was a mistake. I'm going to admit that, right? Because in the United States, unfortunately, it really is the lesser of two evils. And of course,
at the moment, as things currently stand, there needs to be a large group of non-corporate induced politicians who fill the Senate and Democrats. Basically, stuff like there needs to be more people like AOC and Ilhan Omar and some other people who to make real difference, and that has been getting some amount of popularity. It just needs to spread more.
Well, yeah. I was going to say, you do have the Justice Democrats, right? Now, in Britain, we have a parliamentary system, right? And I know that Labour say, vote for the Green, it takes votes away from the Labour Party, and thus the Tories win. Well, here's the thing. There's no difference between the fucking Labour Party and the Tories at the moment, so I don't really care. Okay?
Yeah.
I want to be able to give Keir Starmer a fucking bloody nose come election day this year. Okay? I have to support the party which is closest to my heart, to where I am politically, and that is the Green Party. Okay? So.
By the way, what I was thinking of was the Billy Bragg version, if you will allow me to sing it after.
Go on then.
No,
go on.
Okay. Just the start of it, because it's in the first verse. Stand up, all victims of oppression, for the tyrants fear your might. Don't cling so hard to your possessions, for you have nothing if you have no rights. Let racist ignorance be ended, for respect makes the empires fall. Freedom is merely privilege extended, unless enjoyed by one and all.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I've listened to the Billy Bragg. I used to listen to that all the time as a kid. So this is what happens when you have socialist parents. You listen to Billy Bragg's version of the International and let it encapsulate your heart in terms of wanting to,
The problem I have with Billy Bragg, right, is he's a good bloke. I agree with what he says, right? I appreciate he's out there doing, singing about stuff which matters. I just can't stand his voice.
You can't stand Billy. See, this is weird to me because, like I said, I used to listen to it all the time. I fucking love the Billy Bragg version of the International. So it might just be a me thing, and because to be fair, my parents also love the Billy Bragg version of the International. But yeah.
There's nothing against him. It's just that's the problem I have. I mean, I prefer bands like the Levelers and New Model Army, who are sort of folky punk rock. Anyone knows me. I'm New Model Army are my all-time favorite band, and I would so much. I would give a kidney to be able to speak to Justin Sullivan, the lead singer of New Model Army.
Fair.
I did try and get Mark Chadwick to get an interview with Mark Chadwick, the lead singer of the Levelers, but he wasn't interested. Anyways, because I've had some correspondence with him. He's a good bloke, don't get me wrong. Anyways, thank you for joining us again, Ozma. Unfortunately, Ozma's social media links are not down below because
you asked me and you weren't sure I was going to show up, and I totally get that.
Well, I asked you like 45 minutes before, do you want to come on?
Yeah, and honestly, most Fridays, like I said, I've got D&D, so most Fridays I would have probably just either said no or ignored it, not to be mean to you, but just because I'm either waking up or getting ready for that. But it was just it was canceled, or no, I'd already be playing it because it'd be whatever. Doesn't matter. You can find me at osmointhedark.com, on The Fluid Voice, which is a YouTube channel every Mondays and Wednesdays, Sundays and Wednesdays. There's clips of the Sunday episode that I try to make every Tuesday. This Sunday, we're going to be talking about dating, shame, and the super straights on The Fluid Voice with Benjamin Fox.
Cool. Yeah. Anyways, I
know how to promote myself verbally.
Yes, you do. I'm quite impressed. Anyways, if you like this video, give it a like.
Do that.
Please give this video a share to your friends and
comment
else.
down below. Talk about how much you love the International, or just whatever you want to comment on below. But also, I'm promoting the International, specifically the Billy Bragg version. You can also comment about how you don't like Billy Bragg's voice if you want to side with Sophia on this.
Yeah. Do you know I've only actually had one comment so far?
Yeah, which is why I'm promoting comments.
Yeah,
comments are helpful.
And it was a spammer, so I had to reject it. Seriously.
Yeah.
The thing is, maybe some people are. The trolls are obviously put off by the fact that I moderate comments. Hey, look, if you're gonna have a go at me for being trans, I'm not gonna allow that fucking comment. All right, I'm just not. All right, Yeah. But if you disagree with my opinions, fine. That's I would allow that. Unless you're actually Terry the Tory troll's already banned. I preemptively did that. Well, no, seriously, because he's doxed me.
He does bad faith arguments, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, he's a bit like Caitlin Bennett.
And he's also a stalker. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
Well, yes, he is a cyber stalker who has doxed me in the past. Yeah, so, no. You're not going to get the fucking comment. Anyways, but everyone else is welcome to. Anyways, Most important of all, please do subscribe. I managed to get up to 167, but I seem to have lost one.
Oh no. Hopefully that wasn't because of me.
No, it's probably because of me and my big mouth. But this whole stream is centered around me and my big mouth.
Yeah, see, this is where the conflict comes in when I show up co-hosting. It's big mouth versus big mouth. And no, that's not a joke about us suddenly starting to make out. Go away, you pervy trolls.
Anyways, in the meantime, please take care of yourself. Stay safe. I should be back Monday, and Osborne will be joining me because that's her regular day she joins me. In the meantime, peace out.
Bye.